Hello everybody, today I would like to talk a bit about the video editor of neural frames. So we're here, we rendered the first frame and now we're fresh in the video editor, which is the core element of neural frames. We can see the timeline element at the bottom, which is kind of an important element. We have input boxes here which represent different prompts and generally different settings. We can add new elements by just double-clicking here, okay? Exactly, we can move them around, we can change the duration of them. On the x-axis here, you see the number of seconds in the video clip. And exactly, so what we could, and then there's a couple of parameters here, for instance, the strength. I will go through them now one by one very briefly. There's also an FAQ where you can read more about all of the parameters. The strength is a magnitude for how much the neural network will make a new image out of the old one. So the algorithm feeds the old image into the next image, into the AI, and the AI produces the next image out of it. And the strength is an order of magnitude for how much the neural network will add to this image. Meaning a low strength will not change the images so much, we make it a bit smoother, but also the images get a bit worse over time. A high strength, in contrast to that, we produce relatively high quality images, but make the images a bit more fluctuate over time. I would recommend a value between 0.4 and 0.6. You can also go higher or lower depending on your use case. And I would also recommend to play with this parameter. So you can stay at 0.4, but then also go up a little bit for when you change the prompt once, and then go down again, stuff like that. The smooth is how many frames between two neural network outputs will be interpolation frames. This makes the videos much smoother. And currently I like high values actually. I like values up to 20 at the moment. And CFG scale, honestly, you can read up on it, but it's not very important. You can ignore it for now. I put it there for the pros, but to be honest, you don't really need to touch it. And then there's the zoom, which is a magnitude for how much zoom you want per frame. Exactly. So we can have a relatively high strength, for instance, and a high smooth. I have here a prompt Trippy Fractals high quality digital art. We would like to render that for 1.5 seconds, and then starting on 3 seconds we will have another thing which, let's say, living bacteria digital art vibrant colors. And what we will get, hopefully, I click now on render from cursor, what we will get is a transition between the fractal thing and the living bacteria. Let's see if that works. Okay, and we're back. It kind of worked maybe a little bit, but something I noticed, yeah, it kind of worked a little bit maybe, but what I would like to do actually is increase the strength further for the second one, because I feel the output quality here is not very high. So I can go back with the cursor, and this is an important workflow, okay? You go back with the cursor and increase the strength. Let's even put 0.67, something crazy. Now, if we render from here, we will, because the images here are already rendered. Yeah, I can move this box around. It will not change anything to the actual images that has been rendered, because the images have been rendered with the settings however they were. Okay. So even if I delete this box here, the images will still be there. This is how the algorithm. This is how this program works at the moment. So if you want to redo the images, you go back with the cursor and you click render from cursor, which means it will render everything, the settings that you have from this point, and maybe a bit back depending on the smooth. There's some it needs to find an original neural network output, the last one. We'll go back and then render from there, and then overwrite the images that have been rendered before. I've seen people having issues with that overwrites the images. Once you know it, it's clear. If you go back with the cursor, you overwrite the images with whatever comes next. Cool. That looks great. Let's play it once. First the trippy fractals. And now we go to living organisms somehow, maybe. Cool. Thanks a lot. I hope you have fun with neural frames. And let me know if there's something that you need from me.